Hey, it's H here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios a price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 30-minute time frame, and today we're just going to be focusing on this overall structure from the lows of 18th of June. In this structure we have a few different options, a couple of different bearish ones and one bullish one. Starting with the bullish one here, in which we have a possibility for a wave A or wave 1. Again, this is a 5-way structure if we are labeling as such. With a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 we have alteration between the fourth and the second wave here, which looks pretty good. Then we would have a very massive 3-way structure as a connector as a wave B or wave 2. What makes this more likely for being a wave B instead of wave 2 is the time it took to create it. So generally wave 2 should not take this long overall, and usually wave 2, if it had to be somewhere, I would prefer it to be here. But again, this structure here does not really seem to be a 5-way structure, so that's why I'm labeling this as a 3-way structure, and again being a B wave here. So overall I do prefer this idea of being an A and B more than a 1, 2. Then let's get through to the next section here. As we've established a low here as a wave B or wave 2, then we could have this as a wave 1 here, 3-way structure into wave 2, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 1. Now, it is really difficult to get a good impulse wave structure in here. We can see that we have highs here on RSI, and that's why I have this count as I have it. We do have that divergence in here, and in here as well, I think. Yep. So that would fit the idea. One of the highest peaks on RSI would be here as well, but I can't really get a good looking structure saying that we have ended the wave 1 here. So instead we would have to have something like this. It doesn't have the right proportions to me, so I feel like this is way better as a wave 1 here, and then some kind of a expanded flat into wave 2, alteration here for the wave 4, and then again going forward. We don't have alteration here for the wave 2 versus the wave 4, but again that is something that sometimes happens. Of course we could have this as a wave 4 in here, but again this looks kind of wonky and kind of ugly as well, but it could be there as well. From there on, again, this would be the 3rd wave that we would complete overall at the 1.618 extension of this first leg over here. So again, we have to remind ourselves that wave 2 is extremely short. It is around the 23.6% retracement, which is definitely not ideal or typical. At the moment when we were creating this wave 2 here, my idea was getting back to this order block here, basically, where we had a last consolidation area before we could just launch up higher. Again, we did not do that, and instead we just did this. Not very typical wave 2, to be honest. Now, if we are placing wave 3 up here, we are still within this 3-way structure here. I feel like we have to be placing wave 4 here. We do have alteration here, but this is an expanded structure, and this one is an ABC if we are labeling as such. If we are looking at the proportions, that is one of the things that I really hate about this count. I just can't understand how these would be related to each other, but again, this is legal and is valid of a count. It just doesn't have the right look. If we are just looking at the higher time frame and trying to draw it as we see it, this would be how it would look. It doesn't have the right look overall, but it's still valid, and that's why we keep it around. Now again, I have to mention that it has gone beyond the 0.5 retracement of this 3rd leg for the wave 4, but it definitely looks as it is possible to have completed down here. Now, getting 5 waves into this wave C here is also a bit tricky. To me, it would fit the best, and if we are looking at lower time frames, we can see this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, although this has the lowest RSI reading, at least on that 15-minute. I think we had it Okay, it is down here somewhere as the lowest low. But yeah, 15 minute, I wouldn't like to go beyond that in the smaller degrees, as that has proven out to be not good overall in the past. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would prefer that. But again, we have to have this wave 4 ending somewhere, and I really can't really get any other counts. I would most likely have to say that we have an extended 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 somehow. Again, doesn't have the right look either, but has to be done somehow here. If we are going to go get another low here, or breaking these current lows that we have, this is definitely out of the books. It is already very unlikely that this is the case to me. Now let's move on to the bearish case, as those seem to be more ideal, at least to my eye. So bearish ideas overall saying that we have a W, 3 waves into X wave here, and then wave Y. In wave W we had, was it a double zigzag here? Haven't got it labeled anymore, as it was quite some time ago. In the wave Y we could end it down here or up here. Let's see, do I have it? Let's bring this guy over here and just label it as such. I think it was around there. Nope, it was the 1.236, maybe that's right. Okay, let's use that. So overall we did get to our extended targets here for the wave Y of this WXY. We don't want to go past the 1.618. At that point I would again prefer some other counts. However, for the wave Y I labeled this as an AB and then C wave. The wave B did not get to the 38.2, which is to me a bit surprising, and therefore I have again another count that would explain things a bit differently, although that is way more complex than this one. So I feel like I would still stick with this one, as long as we don't break these highs here, or probably these highs here. So overall for the wave C here in the micro structure or micro degree structure, we would have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 1, then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into third of submicro, fourth and fifth, ending diagonal here as well. So that would end the wave C overall and end the wave Y, and get our whole structure complete here as a WXY. That is one scenario. One other scenario is that we're not done with the wave Y yet, and we'll look into that next. But before that, again, checking out this in the eyes of a bear scenario, we could be labeling this as a 1 with this 5-way structure as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So contracting leading diagonal into wave 1, 3-way structure into wave 2, and then again, as mentioned, I can't really see as a good way of saying that this is indeed a 5-way structure in here. So that's why I'm not labeling it yet. I do still have some shorts open on Bitcoin, although we have now retraced some. I do have my stops above this one for the last bits that I have left on my short, as this is again starting to be a bit more weird than I wanted to. So yeah, I can't really get a 5-way move here cleanly, so that's why I'm a bit more skeptical about this count now. Now let's go through the last structure as well, or possibility, in which again we have the same WX, and then we are looking for wave Y on this purple count. In here we would have this as A, then B. Again, the same issue we have here, as that we would not get to the 38.2 retracements here for the wave B, but that is something that we have to just be living with. Then we would have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 into wave C, into completing the wave W. So first structure that we have here completed is the wave W. Then 3 waves into X, again very swift, very impulsive looking, and we have to be labeling this as some kind of zigzag pattern, as it is swift. Then we would have this as X, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A wave. So we have to acknowledge that this is indeed a 5-way structure, and then we would have this as an A, B, and C, where we would have this ending contracting diagonal here. This would lead us to wave W, 3 ways into X, and now we would get a pretty good looking 3-way structure into wave Y. That's why I wanted to present to you another count here, if we are again getting higher. But again, overall this looks pretty corrective to me. The retracement for the possible wave 4 on this bullish count is so massive that it does not look right. Of course, with this one we have issues here as well, but this still seems to be working out all right. At the moment, this count would be looking for wave C around the 1-to-1 extension. This would bring us all the way above the 0.618 extension of this first wave W here. So that would be the minimum target overall that we were looking at. For the wave C, 1-to-1 again, 24.3k, which would be something like this, acting as a zigzag pattern. And overall for the wave Y, we would be looking for around these areas here, around the 1.382, which would again be something like this. So last leg for this possible Y, according to this count, we would be having something like this. So again, we could be looking into this substructure here to see if there is possible 5-way setups here, and we can see that this is very high on RSI here, but we can't really get a 3rd wave up in here easily. If we are looking at this, I feel like we should have this as the wave 1, 2, again 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this would be a 1, 2, 3. So we have some kind of high here on RSI as well, which would make sense. Then a massive wave 4. We don't get overlap between the 1st and 4th here, and this could be the 5th. So it is possible that we are indeed starting that wave 1, but again, I would expect us to get pretty large retracement here for the possible wave 2, possibly around the 0.5 or even to the golden pocket where we have these previous lows at. If we are looking at the volume profile, the volume has the highest spike here at the golden pocket as well. If we are of course dropping through these lows here, the volume drops off very much. So that would make some sense if we are dumping down. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I wanted to share today. That is something that I'm looking out for. Probably should set an alarm here. But it could be just that we are just coming through here very fast and I can't get to my alerts in time, but we'll see. I'm not going to be setting any limit orders, as I want to be looking into the order flow as well. But I'll show you that in some of the educational videos later on, maybe, if that is something that people would want to see. But yeah, again, that is pretty much everything I wanted to share today. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.